Hello. So today I'm going to be performing surgery on this lovely turkey. He was free range, or she. Doesn't say where. Normally they'll say, oh wait, it's from, oh sorry, it does. It says East Anglia. Lovely part of Britain. Yeah, start off with disinfecting. So, we have gloves. We've put a plastic wrap, or transparente in Spanish, wrap on the table. And we are going to get going with this. Now, I will be using variety. Can you see the knives?
Yeah. Sorry, right. I was thinking they'd smack that turkey like you smack your children.
Yeah. It's like Uncle Roger, smack that rice like you smack your children. But yes, it's very, very smackable turkey. But yeah, so I have my weapons of choice here, and I'm just gonna, they are nicely sharp. I have never been shown how to sharpen knives professionally. I would love to learn. I do know a bit about how to sharpen them with a steel. I always think I might not get the angle right, but I've also got a sharpening stone. This one, like, this knife will take your hand off. So, yeah, always respect your knives. And then we also have poultry scissors. These ones, they're kind of old, but they're very trusty from John Lewis. Right. And then I also have some bacon for later. And I have herb butter, garlic and herb butter, but we'll get to that bit a bit later. Just my knives, in case you want to know, they are Wusthof. You have the chef's knife. I think this one's maybe 30 centimeters. Then we've got the small kind of chef's knife, kitchen knife. Then we have like a vegetable knife. All right, now for our free-range turkey with giblets. So by surgery, what I mean is that I am going to remove all the bones from this beautiful turkey. And then I'm going to portion it up because I like to have it kind of boned and rolled with a lattice of bacon under the skin, along with some garlic butter. So you just want to kind of clean them up a little bit. And we're going to start by removing his giblets. And then I'm going to take these bits. I've got a tray that I'm popping my bits into. Right. Just take these bits off. The sort of scaly kind of bits. But yeah, I think we sort of started doing this turkey surgery tradition a few years ago, because we used to always just buy like a turkey crown or whatever, like many people do. But they are, let's face it, they're kind of pricey, and they're not always, they're not always the best option for every family. For some families, they're great. Our family, when we are all able to get together, just immediate family, there's about 20 of us. That's not even necessarily with all my sisters getting together. That's just, just some of my siblings and nieces and nephews and various other family members. Right, okay, let's take this off. Come on, off we come, because I don't want this. There we go. Right. Whereas these bits, I am actually going to keep. So first of all, we're just going to go in with this small knife. You find the joint. So if you move it, you'll find where it is. And we're just going to go in and take this off. You don't necessarily have to. But I will. Yeah, there we go. All right. Then what we're actually going to do with this is we're going to turn it over. Get rid of that little thing there. Now, for the main surgery, what I will be doing is I'm going to slice open along the backbone and I'm going to start from there. So we'll just make our first incision here. And then what you can do is you can feel all of the bones and where various bones and stuff are. And then you want to sort of cut along those. The idea is to get as close to those bones as you can. But nothing will be wasted. What I like to do is the bones that I've removed will switch devices. The bones I will then use to make stock for the gravy. Last year I think I did this video as a Facebook Live, but this year I decided that, you know, it would be better. I should have gone in here. Right, okay. Won't remove that bit yet, but let's just go with the skin because you want to keep all of that skin where possible. But yeah, because I know lots of people would maybe like to know how to debone. We have a joint here. I don't know if you can see it. There's a joint right here. And that would be where the thigh, because this is effectively the turkey thigh, where the thigh connects onto the pelvis. So we're just going to maybe use the smaller knife so that I can get in there. We're just going to cut around and see, it releases off nicely. And then there's like a bit of sinewy kind of stuff here. You just separate it and you can literally follow the rib cage around. And then on this side, again, you want to kind of feel your way with your knife. I hope you can get a good view. Do you think you can get a good view, Hayden?
Yeah. It does very, very, very smell tasty.
Does it smell tasty?
It's not cooked yet.
I know.
Yeah, there's like all these kind of like smaller kind of bones in here that you just want to try and get close to. There's one here. Can you hear that one? So that is part of this kind of shoulder blade here. So again, you just kind of find the bone with your knife and you follow it. And you just kind of cut that meat off. And as I said, no meat will be wasted. Seeing that's the tip of the turkey wing there. Yeah, so you follow it back. So we found the joint here. And again, that's gonna then go down into this wing. Now, even the wing, you can even get meat out of that. First of all, I will remove the wing tip. See, normally there you go. Put that into our collection box. Okay, just gonna remove that feather from there. Right, so I've got this bit here and you can see the tip of that bone there. And let's see, we're gonna slice this open this way, I think. So we'll go down that bit there. And again, just run it around the other side. And there's a bit, you can kind of see the sinewy kind of parts here. Now, turkeys being such large birds, they like some of their tendons, I see, are very tough. So in the legs, there's some that are literally like almost bone-like in how sort of tough the cartilage and that is. Right, just release this bit here. Yeah, you do want to be careful with how you're doing this. So yeah, I'm just going to go along that way. Now, you don't have to bother with the wings. You could literally cut them straight off. But I kind of, you know, like to use as much as possible. And actually, like, you know, the reason why I buy this turkey and not, you know, a crown of turkey for the same price is because I, where possible, like to try and buy, you know, the best quality food that I can. So that means buying things like organic milk, organic eggs, organic or free-range meat where possible. So as I said, this is a free-range turkey. So I decided a few years ago that I was going to spend my money on free-range instead of just a bog standard crown. And the way that I'm able to do that is by buying the whole bird and then dividing it up in this way. Right, so there we go. So that's literally the bones. You do have a bit of meat in this area here. So again, you can that out. But any meat that is left on these bones will not be wasted because it will be going in the stock. Right, we'll remove that. See, there we go. There is still, you know, bits of meat and bits of fat and bits of skin and all sorts, but none of it will be wasted. Literally, by the time I roast my bones and then boil them in a stock, I roast them so that I get a dark colour gravy. If you don't want a dark colour gravy, then you just boil them raw. But if you want a dark colour gravy, the secret is to roast your bones because you're getting that roasted flavour. So there you have your wing there. Part of the reason also why I go to the trouble of deboning the wings is so that I get that excess skin, because I'm going to make not one meal from this, but several So I'm just going to cut down. I hope you can see that. It's a bit tricky trying to, because obviously I'm on this side and I would normally be doing stuff on this side, but so that you get a better view, I'm trying to kind of do it on the other side. Right, and again, you can kind of feel around and you can feel where things are and follow lines. So see there, that bit of tendon there isn't going to add to your flavour. So it's very tough, so you just remove it. You can actually go one step further and remove it completely, because it's not gonna add to your flavour. So you have that bit of sinew, but like I said, it's going in my stock pot, so it's not wasted. And then yeah, you just follow the line, and you can take this opportunity to check for a little bit, so you can put a bit of meat back, but I don't know if you can see that there's like a little bit of bone there from where, as I said, these knives will literally cut through the bones. And then yeah, you can follow that down to get to the end. And then we have this leg here. So again, we're gonna follow it there. Yeah, we normally perform our turkey surgery on Christmas Eve, and it's entertainment for the whole family. Isn't that right, Aiden?
Yeah.
My youngest son, Aiden, is also watching. So yeah, so you just feel for where this bone is.
Can I tell you why I like turkey surgery?
Go on then.
It's very satisfying when you just hit all those crunches. And second of all, it's making food. And I like food.
I like food.
Yeah.
I concur. I agree with that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't sit on the arm of the chair, please.
Can I be in the video?
Well, I'm not in the video. You can talk.
The star is the turkey, isn't it?
The star is the turkey. It's his or her moment to shine. But yeah.
You mean
right
to
here.
die?
Or it. I suppose we don't have to give it a gender. We don't need to assign it a gender. It can be a it or a them.
Probably it.
Well, let's humanise it a bit more. It can be a them.
Yeah.
Or a they. So let's hope that they had a good life.
In heaven. Because...
well, I mean on Earth.
Yeah.
That while it was alive, that's why we get free range. See, look. This literally is like bone.
And it looks like a vein.
Doesn't look like a vein. These are tendons, the ends of tendons.
Oh.
And they are, yeah, they're very tough in such a large animal as this one. In certain animals, like you get things like cows and stuff where the tendons can be kind of eaten and they go very gelatinous, but I think that tends to be more the mid section of a tendon, not the end of the tendon. These are the ends because the tendon obviously attaches to the muscle.
It's a nice animal though.
Mm-hmm. Right, so yeah, I'm going to put it on YouTube later.
Ooh.
I'm going to upload it later. But yes, so
Hopefully the video's nice.
I'm hoping that, you know, if somebody does watch this, that they find it informative.
Yeah.
What does informative mean?
Don't know.
Informative means that they gain information from it. So like learning, that they learn something, like a new skill. Because, as I said before, I'm not trained. I'm just a
I can see the meat ready to say
person who
cooking.
likes to cook.
Yeah. Oh, that looks really good already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does take some effort. See, look, now I'm just running down this femur bone here. And
What's the femur bone?
the femur is your thigh bone.
Thigh.
Yep. Now, we'll come to a bit here where there's like a big, we all know that gristly end bit of a chicken drumstick. Well, it's there, and I want to try and separate the meat from it. We also have the second bone. I think this is like the tibula and fibula. But again, my biology is not necessarily... It's been years since I was in a biology class. So there you go. You have, and again, don't worry about the meat that's on the bones because it will all go to good use. But see now, if you have a feel, you can see there, that bit. And so this is the bursa here. And we're just gonna go ahead and remove that little cap. That would be like the kneecap. And that's the little fatty deposit behind it. Right, so let's feel. Now see, straight away you can see all the tendon ends here. And when you feel them, you can feel that hard part that's in them. So then we just want to, once again, run our knife down. It can be tricky to get a hold of them as well because they're, you know, they are a bit slippery. We're just gonna run the knife down. There we go. That's one. You just have a feel. See, I can feel another one here. That's two. I can feel more. So let's go to this one here. And you can kind of see there where it attaches onto the muscle. You can see that sort of silveriness. That's maybe here. It's very hard to, there we go. To actually, they're so slippery. Take that bit of meat off. That little bit can go as well. We've still got a few more. There we go. Just a few more to go, but yeah, if you feel, you can feel they feel bony. yeah, so just it takes a bit of time doing this because it's quite fiddly. Right, let's have a feel now. So there's another little piece. Let's see if we can get that bit without getting too much of the meat off. There. If you have a, oh, see there, found one more. I was about to say that I'd got them all, but nope. The one thing that you definitely do need for this is definitely you need some good knives. I would always recommend good knives. The knife set that I have, we didn't buy it all in one go. We're unfortunately not that well off. These knives are very expensive. So they were like Christmas presents and birthday presents over a number of years. But they were definitely worth it. And I've had, I think I've had these ones, maybe they're definitely more than 10 years old. Maybe 10, 12 years old. And you wouldn't, like looking at them, you wouldn't know. They're an excellent brand of knife. Right, so that is pretty much that whole half there deboned. See, got it right the way to the sternum, also known as the breastbone. Culinary stuff and a biology lesson, as well as a bit of a, what's the word I'm looking for? Some literature discussion, literary discussion. There we go. Very nice. But yeah. Okay, so that is, you can feel it there. And then the only thing really what you want to do at this stage is then pop that there. So you can see as well how this breast bit here is a lot thicker than this dark meat. So you don't get, you know, it's not too much dark meat to white meat ratio, but I do like, so when I sort of roll it, it essentially be kind of like that, so that when you slice through, you get a little bit of dark meat and a little bit of white meat with every bite. And hopefully, because of the way that I cook it, it should be, like none of it should be dry. So then what we're going to do, we're going to literally lift the whole thing up, and we're going to, now I can see it actually, let me just deal with this bit here. So again, I can feel there like a sinewy kind of, that might actually be a bone. I think, oh, this is the wishbone perhaps. We'll just find the line of this bone. Yeah, and we'll find there. Now this, see, ta-da, one wishbone. Although what we'll do with this later is, again, it will go in like all the other bones into our stock pot. Just scrape this bit of the meat off. There we go, there's your wishbone. We will pop it in our stock pot, and when it's all cleaned up. Now, speaking of your stock, the little giblet pack that you get contains like the neck, I think, and the heart, the kidneys, the liver. Some people don't tend to put the liver in when into their stock pot, because it can sometimes kind of, it has a distinct sort of flavour, but I generally find it's fine. You can just pop it all in there. It's all good at the end of the day. Right.
It smells odd. I mean, it's probably because of the amount of meat that's in here.
Probably. Right. Okay. Right, so that is that side. Now moving on to this side. And again, you're just gonna run that knife around the rib cage so you can see it properly here. Yeah, make sure to get all the little pockets of meat. I think what I'll do is I will switch to the big knife. So get between that. There we go. See, it literally sliced through that. This knife is good for sort of cutting, but there are better knives for when you want to do the sort of closer sort of filleting type stuff. Now, down here, so what I'm going to do is this bit here, again that shoulder blade, run your knife along it, around the scapula. Right, because I'm getting annoyed that it keeps pulling, what we're just going to do here is we're going to just slice through this bit here, and on the other side. So here we have your chest cavity, and again you've got like all these kind of bits of meat and stuff here that will all go into our stock pot. And there are some bigger kind of meaty bits, but yep. And then you can see here, just kind of bit. Let's remove the rest of this, shall we? Right, let's good. Nice. There. There we go. find your way neatly along. Ta-da! There we go. We have that. I'm assuming that's the breastbone. Look, these two little sort of ball bits. Keep those. We'll get rid of this. This looks like it's a bit of a leftover vein or something. Oh, not now. Right. Okay. And then now that we have that butterflied open, and then let's see, it was the outer edge, wasn't it, that we did? Yeah, see how easily that cut through that? That's why you need to show a lot of care and respect when handling sharp knives. Again, just going to take this bit out of the middle there. There we go. Ta-da! There's your other wing bone. We'll take out this bit of tendon. There we go. And again, just give it a good feel. Make sure that there's no bits of bone or anything. Just going to take out this bit of what was once probably an artery. Remove these bits. Right, and then we've just got this one leg left to do. So I'm going to slice it this way and this way along the bone. Go around the knee area. So again, you can kind of see that knee there. And again, you can kind of feel in here where the lumps, oops, and bumps are. There we go. There's the beginnings of some of these tough bits of tendon here. What's it? some of that off. And then just so you can feel these tough little tendons. Yep. So slippery. One there, that one's pretty much done. Can feel a big one here. Let's just see, look. It doesn't want to let you cut through those. So the way to deal with them is to cut them out. There we go, that's released. Then we still have the task of removing some of the tougher tendons. Then just feel up your meat. That feels pretty good. Yep. All right. So that is, oops, I've just spotted a piece over here. Bit of cartilage. Right, so bit of bone. Yeah, let's just give it a good feel up. Make sure there's nothing, no bones lurking, no tendons that need to be removed. Right, so that was the first part of the turkey. So this is essentially the surgery complete. So now in theory, now is the point where you want to, you know, make good and close, right? Except for before we suture this bad boy, we're going to remove all of the skin. Remove all of its skin. So again, what we want to do, we're just going to detach some of these bits. Right. So some areas of the skin are easier to remove than others. It's a case of finding where you want to start. And you find as well that a lot of the time the skin kind of has like this kind of membrane here between the skin and the meat. And so if you just slip your hand between the meat and the skin and sort of pull away at this membrane and break this membrane, it will generally break apart. Then, however, you get to kind of more tricky kind of bits where it maybe doesn't want to separate, and then you might have to, you know, bring a knife into it and convince the meat that it wants to be separated. So like here, what we want to avoid is actually breaking the skin itself. So as I said, where possible, you're going to try and remove it. And where you can't remove it, you just want to kind of be really careful and right. Now you will find that there are parts of the skin that will tear, and we'll just have to deal with that later. If you have a bit of meat still left on the skin, it's no big deal, but this hole here is not great, because then as you're trying to separate the rest, the hole tends to want to get bigger and bigger. But for the most part, it should be fairly easy to convince the meat to separate. See there, this whole thigh bit has come off quite nicely. Now you don't have to do this. I'm doing this because I want to put my bacon under the skin. But if you just want to do it on top, you can. You can just leave it all in one piece. And that will be fine. See, that's one part of the dark meat. It's another piece of the dark meat. So you find it's very fiddly around things like the wing area and that, because the skin is quite tightly joined there. Let's get this off. In theory, if you didn't want the meat at all, the skin at all, you could just separate it and get rid of it. I will be using my skin. Well, this skin, not technically my own. But, yes. Right. And then again, when we're at an impasse, you just gently convince it to let go. I think this last bit is where it was joined to the backbone, and then there you go. For the most part, the skin is now separated from the meat. There. So there. So we have our piece of skin. Leave it to the side. And then we have our meat. Can I actually get my new gadget? I'm gonna try using it. So you have two breasticles here. You've got two areas of leg meat. and some of the kind of extra little bits over here.
He thinks this wasn't brand new.
Alright, now I've never used this before, but I did see it on a video that I liked, and so it's essentially something that you tenderize. Oh! It pokes little holes in it, so I'm gonna do that. Just so that
Could be good for getting the butter and
getting the butter and everything, yeah, deep into it. A lot of meat that comes sort of like, you've heard the term butter basted, well, quite often they inject the meat with like this sort of, I picked this up from Amazon. Going through like £8. Let's see, maybe it will make the meat more tender. I mean, it definitely pierces through this kind of membrane layer. And it's quite therapeutic. Just want to make sure that your hands are well out of the way.
I think it's definitely dead by now. I think it's definitely dead by now.
Oh, yes. But you want to keep your hands out of the way because you don't want that going through. Just a little bit more. There we go. I think that should help the butter to permeate. Right. So now what I'm going to do is sort of decide how I'm going to have my meat. Last year I did 2 joints and I saved one for Easter, but then with lockdown the one joint of meat was too much for just our sort of 4 members of family. So what I think I might do is actually make 3 joints. I think what I'm going to do is have maybe you see, because with this, like, you know, it's quite a big amount. Yeah, they will be quite big. So maybe if this last joint, if I take this bit off and I take this bit off, so I've got, you know, and then the last sort of bit, if I take, let's say, from here off, and then with this one, just kind of, I want to kind of get an idea of how it's going to be kind of distributed. And we'll cut it there. There. There we go. And then this will be kind of like a small kind of Sunday lunch. This is like a slightly larger Sunday lunch. Or Christmas lunch, because we're also having ham. Because my husband is from Ireland and there it's quite traditional to have ham. Right. And then obviously the skin will sort out in a minute. But right, first things first, we're going to just try and make sure that what you want is you want the meat to be an even sort of thickness when you're doing it. So you can take some of these bits, sort of place them there, and then you sort of like look at the meat and think to yourself, right, okay, is this bit as thick as this bit or whatever? And you can get a bit of these like offcuts and that. Let's pop this bit here. And then you look at it again, you think, okay, you know, that looks like maybe now it might be a good kind of even size and shape. And what's it gonna, you know, what is the end thing gonna look like? And again, you can sort of do the same with the next one. Yeah, maybe we'll put this kind of here. This back end could do with a bit of bulk, so we'll put this sort of there. And again, you kind of look at what it might look like at the end. You want breast side up. And then with this sort of last kind of off-cut bit, put it all sort of together. Now with this, because you've got this two sort of bits, what we can actually do is separate this kind of up and spread it out a bit. There you've got your little Frankenstein piece. Now, well, actually, Frankenstein was the doctor, not the monster, because he was Frankenstein's monster. Right, and then we'll kind of work out roughly how much skin we have and how it might be placed on our meat. Again, got like certain areas of it, like this bit here. This is not actually a piece of the skin. This is like sort of a fatty kind of part. So we're just gonna remove that. That. Right. Again, just yeah, I think that'll probably be fine. See there? Again, that's not actually, it's like a fat layer under the skin. Not that, you know, some fat is obviously desirable in a turkey. But just stick that down into our pot. Alright. Oh, there's a bit of bone there. See, always good to have one final sort of examination of your specimen. Good. Right. Now let's check again. Right, so we've got this area here, got this area that's a bit more broken up over here. It's okay though, I can work with all sorts of things. Because I am going to be sewing it up, I can literally try and sew that together. What we want is to figure out which bit is the nicest bit for our Christmas Day joint. Now this bit here, which would have originally been over the leg, looks quite nice. So let's have a look at how that might look over our meat. And see, what you would do is you'd kind of stretch the bits and you'd bring them together. Get an idea. So you need it round to about here, and then that bit there can be gotten rid of. So yeah, I think this bit here. So what we'll do is go be brave and cut, and then we will work with what we have and we will make it work. See, and then that will look like that at the end. So let's place that one down. Then we'll get our skin again, examine it again. Right. So methinks this bit here. So we'll get our second joint, pop it here. Gonna take the skin, flip it over, have a good look. Yep. So we're going to cut it about here. And that's our second joint. And then our Franken joint. See, we've got bits of skin for this one. So we'll see. Leave that there. We might be able to make do with what we've got. We might not be able to make do with what we've got. So you can see there we're a little bit short in what we've got, but it's okay because we are going to wrap this in some bacon. So we will find a way to make it all come together and work. Yeah, so we have that. Might actually be able to cut a bit from there. Again, we can work with it. We will work with what we have and we will make it work. All right, so first up is our bacon. Now I'm using unsmoked bacon. You could also use like pancetta. If you prefer smoked bacon, you can use smoked bacon. I just find that because of the butter, you know, it's quite salty, and I find smoked bacon tends to be more salty than unsmoked bacon. Maybe that's just me. And then what you want to do is make sure you go over, under, over, under, over, under, over. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. So we're going to take that one back go, and this one back, this one back. We'll lay this down, and we'll go back, 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 and then we'll take that one that way, that way, that way. Right, so we're gonna take our meat. Can you get out the garlic butter in a minute?
Yeah.
Please and thank you. Alright, so we have our piece of skin. Maybe what might have actually been a better idea would have been to put the skin under the bacon lattice. Let's see if we can roll the lettuce up. And can you actually get me cling film?
Yeah.
And put that there so that it's easier to roll. Okay. Now I rolled this up. Which way was it? Like this. I'll put the skin underneath as well. Wrong way around. Yeah, I'll leave the skin till the end. Let's just roll this back out. Garlic butter, please. So, yep. You want bacon that is fairly... You don't want it too fatty. You do want some fat because it's going to add moisture to the turkey, which is quite lean. And you're going to want to make sure, well, with this one I didn't really check the pack, so it's got like these little bits, but what you want is you want really nice thin strips. Alright, and here we have some garlic butter that I prepared earlier. And you want the majority of this to be on the top of where your turkey is going to be, because you want to essentially it to baste.
That's a bit. There we go.
Right. What you can actually do, I think what I will do is I'll save a few pieces and put them on the inside. But yeah, I'm forever sort of changing how I do this. You know, like I don't have a particular recipe for the garlic butter. It's just some crushed garlic and some salted butter. And this has got fresh rosemary and fresh thyme. And then what I'm just going to do is I'm going to lay this bit of turkey on top. I'm just going to give it a couple of, oops, well, just kind of permeate it a bit there. And then I'm going to put some of this butter on the inside. And then we're going to put our little bits around, and then you just want to, again, let's just make sure that's nice and tenderized, and because this side is thicker, just kind of find best spot to put it. I think that should be good. I don't have my bacon going all the way around. You can also like use like Parma ham or whatever, and that can go all the way around. So with this, literally it's just covering the sort of the top. And we're gonna see there. Just shove the little bits of butter back in. See, so that's a nice kind of, oops, nice kind of shape there. And then I'm just going to remove that. Make sure the butter is tucked in. I'm gonna get my bit of skin, lay it back over the top again, and then oops, I'm gonna get the whole thing and flip it over. Right. Right. Now to close it all up. Just gonna move that. So I use a like a type of cooking twine, and I literally am going to sew it up. The thing with this that you have to do is you have to do it generally in one piece of string, and you have to remember to take the string out after it's cooked. Do you want to bring over the string?
Through there.
I'll thread it. I just want to cut it first.
Oh, how much is it?
Do you want to show the camera the type of string that we're using? And it has its own little bit on there for cutting. So you just want it nice and longer. Longer. Yeah, that should do. Okay, so we've got a nice long piece of string here. And I have a fat needle. Most sort of packs of needles will come with a large type of needle. I'm sure it wasn't designed for this exact purpose in mind. With this exact purpose in mind. Then you just find a spot and you go in there, and you're going to go in the other side there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring it all the way to the bottom, and then we will tie our knot with a nice end so that we can see. And then we're just going to proceed to sew it up. You don't want it to be too close to the edge of the skin, because otherwise it might have a tendency to rip. So you just kind of want to make sure it's just like 1/2 centimeter in or something. And you just do it like that. I mean, obviously it's not an exact science, so, and it's not a person, so it doesn't matter if your stitches are messy. The turkey will not mind. You just want to make sure that your turkey is just all held together. May actually have needed a longer piece of string. If you have to do multiple pieces of thread, it's fine. Just remember that you have multiple pieces of thread and make sure you remove all of them. I mean, it is made of natural material, so it's not going to exactly hurt anyone, but it may not be the most pleasant of things when eating your Christmas dinner. Right, and this piece is gonna come over here. See? Skin is actually a lot tougher than you think. You want to make sure that you go through the skin and not the meat itself. But see, now we got to a point here where we have to pick a direction. It's like choose your own adventure. Do we go left or do we go right? See, I think with this, on this particular occasion, we're going to have to have more than one piece of string because we're going to have to sew this up and sew that area up. So I think we'll go my left, your right, and do this side first. There is a way that you can do this all in a oneer if you do need to. And when I get to the end, if I still have enough string, I'll show you how you do that. Right, now in order to use this, what you want to do is we're just going to go up the turkey. Now again, you want to make sure that you're doing it without going through the meat. And see, then when we're back at the top here, I can literally continue because we've still got, because of the way that this is, we've still got a bit of string to use. See, look there, that stitch is pulling on that bit of skin because that bit of skin is quite thin, but hopefully it will hold. And now, see, we've still got a little bit. Now what we can do, put that back in, we can, wrong bit, that's the bacon. Don't want the bacon. The bacon can stay where it is. Stay, bacon, stay. What I want is this skin. So we kind of have a look, see what we want. This bit, we want this bit to come here. So we will thinly through there. So we managed to get more of this skin sewn up than we originally thought we would with this piece of string. And I think we get right the way to the end here. There we go. Get through this last tiny bit. And then bring this here. Let's see if we can't do some kind of a tiny knot. Through you come. Come. There we go. Just go around one more time. There we go. So that's a knot there. So see, we've got two sides done. We just need to sew up this last side here, which we'll be able to do. Can I get a bit more string, please? Alright, so we want to go that way. So maybe if we start down this end. Sit nicely, please. See, my fingers are very slippery now. There we go. So tie off that end. Right, and now There we go. And then you just want to make sure that your end is long enough to the ends there, that they're long enough that you can see where they are. This one is here. And there you have it. That. I'm gonna quickly do the others, but yeah, I would cook this in an oven, probably 160 degrees Celsius, maybe 180 degrees Celsius, and I'd say it would only take about an hour, if even that, to cook. You just want to check and make sure that your internal temperature is the right temperature. I don't know, I always Google it to check, so I don't want to tell you, oh yeah, it should be to this whatever, and then throughout the cooking, you know, you can sort of turn it or whatever, you can baste it. But yeah, there you have the first of our 3 joints from our nice, I think that was a 5 kilo, almost 6 kilo turkey. So yeah, and then the bones.
Did you sew it?
Yeah. No, because I have to do the rest.
Can you give me this? I'll wrap it up and cling film on the fridge.
Yep. There we go.
It looks really good, right, Mum?
I'm glad.
Let's have pasta in a couple minutes.
So although it's a patchwork quilt on the bottom, top that faces you, it's very nice and neat. Ta-da! So there you have it. 3 nice joints out of that one free-range turkey. And then we have our bones and everything, which I might record and might add on to this video at another point. Yeah, so there you have it. How to perform turkey surgery. Thank you very much for watching, and click a like if you like it.
Subscribe, etc.
Subscribe. No, I don't need subscribers. I don't. Well, if you want to subscribe, subscribe. But I don't know. I don't know if people do want to see more videos of cooking and stuff. And, you know.
Send money.
No.
Right. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. Okay, so I thought I might as well just quickly show you my tray of bones and tendons, etc., etc., etc. Right, let's cut this one up a sec. Hang on. Let's just see. Ooh. Maybe not. There we go. Okay, that should be better. All right. Okay, that bit of bone there I think I'll leave out because it's quite sharp. We'll open our bag of giblets, and in case you wanted to know what is inside, you have the neck, and then you have the liver. Oh, they haven't given us the kidneys or the heart. That's interesting, they normally do. But yeah, this is the liver. One of the hardest working organs in your body. And one of the only organs that you can, I believe, cut a bit off and it will sort of grow a bit back and try and repair itself. Anyway, do not make the mistake of leaving the bag. And as I said, if you want, you can leave the liver out. I'm just going to leave it in. And then you need a handy assistant. My trusty assistant has just stepped out, so I'm going to wait. Need some oil. We're using olive oil here. A bit more. 2. I'm just going to kind of coat the bones a bit. So they're all coated. And then I'm literally just going to roast this in the oven until it's all nice and golden brown and all that. And then I'm going to add water and onions and carrots. I would add celery if I had it, but I don't. I forgot to get it. And I'll maybe show you when it's done. Okay. Okay, so just very quickly, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with these bones. These turkey bones. Right, they've roasted. Now I'm literally going to transfer them into a pot. You could leave them in the roasting tin and cook them off in the oven, but if, like me, you're probably going to be using your oven for something else. I could have done this last night, but hey ho. So bones go in thing, and then I need some boiled water to magically appear to deglaze my pan, and then is that water boiled? Yeah. Right, then we're going to take some onions, some carrot. I am going to add some celery after my lovely assistant has been to the shop. Another onion. You can use as much onion and garlic as you like. And there we go. No, just you talk.
There you go.
Yeah, just fully deglaze the pan, and then you just cook that, and then you use that stock to make your gravy, and that's that. So that's nice and quick and simple. Really sort of scrape. Oh, should have said add a few whole peppercorns and a couple of bay leaves, and yeah, the celery stalk leaves are the most flavoursome part. But yeah, you literally just scrape all that goodness out of the bottom of your pan, and you let these cook for hours till all the meat falls off those bones. You can kind of jiggle it about every now and then. Pour all that roasted goodness in there. Yeah, it looks like a fairly clean pan. And that's that. And I'll show you the next part after. Okay, bye. I'm actually going to throw a glug of wine in. You don't need to, but just for good measure. Sorry about the audio. The kettle is boiling again to add more water. What you want to do is you want to fill this up so that it's covered with water and leave it to gently simmer for a long time. Okay? So here I have my bones that have been boiling for about an hour. You can see the celery is in there as well. And what I've been doing is kind of mashing it to get all the bits of meat to come off. And you can see the colour that the liquid is gone. And so we're just going to keep boiling that away, just letting it simmer for another couple of hours, and then we're just going to drain it off before we make our gravy. If you need to add more water, you know, you can always add more water at this stage. But yeah, so whoops. There's a chicken wings and everything. Yeah, just kind of mash it. You can kind of mash the vegetables as well. You want it to all kind of release its goodness into the liquid, and then yeah, we're going to be straining all of it off. Okay, so here we have our bones after they've been boiling for several hours, and I'm literally going to drain them into here. It's handy if you get a pair of like tongs to move some of the, in fact you could actually, even if we remove that lid please, you can actually just move them into a separate thing altogether, because you know there's quite a lot there. You don't really need to strain the bones. And then what I might actually do is put some more water, You'll see in a minute. But put more water in. Does that help? Do you want to put it on top? Because I need it more. I'm just gonna move these all. The wishbone. Put that to one side. There's your liver. Okay, now I'm just going to take a potato masher. I'm just going to mash all the vegetables down. So you can feel there's still some bones in there. We're just kind of mashing it. Just to kind of mash up the onions and celery and stuff that were in there. So that they really release all their goodness and flavour into that. And then we're literally going pour that there. Mash it down. And then I'm just going to pour a little bit more water onto this lot. Give it another bit of a stir. You don't want to do this too many times, but it's just to, in a way, rinse some of the flavour off. And there you have some stock ready to go with your to make gravy. And here we have the turkey that has been cooking in the oven on 160 degrees. It was covered in tin foil first for a little while, and then for an hour. Then the last half an hour the tin foil has been off, and we've basted it a few times just to make sure that get all that goodness in. And now I'm just going to check the internal temperature. I have a special thermometer, so let's do it. It's kind of, maybe I want to do it from here, and we're just gonna, whoops, there, stick it right the way inside, and we want it to be 75 degrees centigrade internally. So you just need to wait until your thermometer stops reading. So that's currently saying 66.9. Do remember that the heat will distribute differently once you actually take it out and let it rest. It will continue. See, look there, it's gone to 67. It will continue to kind of distribute that heat. I think probably what I'll do is, let's just take it out, and I'm maybe just gonna pop it in here, just see if I get a different result from a different area. So no, this is still saying about 67, so that's fine. We'll just pop it back in for like another 20 minutes or whatever, and then check it again. Okay, so this is I turned it over and put it back in so that the bottom would get nice and golden. I'm just gonna take its temperature once more. been 15 minutes since I last took its temperature. Yeah, I'd say it's fine. It's about 70 degrees. Its juices are running out clear. So I think that's good to come out and rest. It'll rest for an hour, so the heat will distribute. Although let me just check before I do. Just want to turn it over again. I sort of poured the butter in. Oh, that looks so good. Yeah. And then all this butter that's under there is going to go in our gravy. So the gravy is not fat free. Okay. So that's that bit for now. Okay. So here I have combined the juices from the pan that had the turkey in it and a third of the stock. So I divided it up into thirds. So the other two will be put in the freezer for the other two joints. And then here I have them bubbling away on the stove. I checked it for salt. It's very nice. I'm going to put a tiny bit of pesto in, not a lot, just literally like half a dessert spoon. Because I do love Bisto turkey gravy. And then here I have 2 teaspoons of corn flour. Just corn flour in a jar. And I'm gonna pour it in and stir. Normally you would pour it with one hand, stir with the other, but I'm holding my phone because the kitchen is a mess on Christmas Day. Right, and see, that thickens up nicely. Let's taste it. Perfection. And that's it. That's your gravy. Okay, bye.